Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Judy and you are watching Winning So-and-So on this beautiful sunny Saturday morning, and I thought, right, I'm going to nip on and I am going to do my filming now. So welcome if you are new, welcome if you are returning. It's just wonderful to have you here. And if you haven't yet subscribed, it would be wonderful if you would consider subscribing. You can click the little subscribe button which is on your YouTube screen, or if you're on a computer there's a little button in one of the corners and you can click that, because I want to know if you can help me achieve something this year. I would like to get, and I'm going to be really quite bold at this, and it's not like me, I don't like putting myself out there, but I was doing some tidying this week. As you will have seen in my video earlier in the week, I have been doing some tidying, a lot of tidying, and I picked something up and it got me thinking. And then somebody said, how long have you been sewing? And I thought, a long time. And then I realised just how long I've been sewing, and an anniversary is coming round at Christmas. And I've been sewing for 60 years at Christmas, and it's really quite incredible. Now, I've got nothing that I made in those first few years, but my memory is incredibly vivid of my mum doing some embroidery, and she was making embroidered cushions and she was using wool. My mum and my grandmother, that's not her mother, my father's mother, were incredible at embroidery. And I sort of said, I want to have a go. So Grandma found some fabric. I have got some of Grandma's work and I will go and see if I can find it, but not today. She found this fabric and my mum got a jam jar and drew on 6 circles, and I had to embroider around the edge of the circles. So I went straight from 0 to 90 in a minute. And from there it was dolls' clothes, little bits of making needle cases, doing the embroidery on the binker. I've got things that I'm going to bring out over the next year. So what can you help me do? If you've not already subscribed, it would be wonderful if you could, because I'd like to see if I could get to 6,000 subscribers for 60 years of sewing by the 31st of December. It's a bit of a tall order, but can you help me do it? It'd be funny if I could, wouldn't it? It's just a number on a screen, but it'd be a bit of fun. So it doesn't cost you anything. You could just subscribe and share. That would be brilliant. So let's get on with why I'm here today. And I am going to say over the next year I'm going to try and bring in some sewing memories. They might come in spasmodically because I have got the most incredibly busy and wonderful March to look forward to. And as you can hear in the background, I've got washing machines and dishwashers going, but the sun is out and I thought I need to record today. So for those of you that have seen my last 2 videos, thank you so much. I will link them in the description box below, and I will put up a card here to my latest video where I started sorting out. Now, for those of you that don't know me, I am 63 years old. I live in a village south of York, between York and Selby, and I'm widowed. I have 2 children and 2 grandchildren. I've been widowed for nearly 17 years, so I'm well on that journey, and I have to do everything. I claim to be the queen of everything in this house. And my latest achievement was changing my wiper blades on my car, so everything's a little goal, and I like positivity in my channel. So I started tidying out. Now, I'm a bit ruthless. I think when I moved from the house that David and I shared to the smaller house, I had to be brutal. And I've always been brutal on tidying up, brutal on tidying up, brutal on clearing out my emails. I just don't like junk hanging around. If something's not been used for a while, it goes. So I had a bit of a tidy out in the sewing cupboard, and I found this. Now, is this not just fantastic? This was in the back of my little sewing cupboard, and it had some junk in it. And in it, when I went through the cupboard, I found this beautiful piece of, I think it's like a bamboo jersey to make a t-shirt with. I've had it for years. I cannot remember where I got it from. I cannot remember how much I paid for it. I cannot remember its composition. What I can tell you is it's stretchy, 2 ways. It feels like silk. It's a colour that suits me. It's a colour that I like. And as Coco Chanel says, if you like the colour, you'll shine in it. And I have enough to make a beautiful t-shirt or a little top. I'd like to think I've got enough to make a little like long sleeve top. Oh, maybe you've only got, oh, it's even been folded. I've got just over 1 metre. So I found that in the cupboard, which I'm utterly delighted at. This is a little sewing job for my next door neighbour, and he does reenactments, so he has to dress up in costume, and he dresses up in armour. So it is the neckband that goes around his neck underneath his helmet, and it's going to be a great challenge to make that for James next door. And he's also got a little bit of embroidery that he wants to go on, so that is an Easter holiday project. And as I kept ticking, for those of you that have started to get to know me over the years, I love a bit of bumbleberries. I found this! So that can go in my quilting box. I found this, which can go in the quilting basket. I found this, which will pop up again later. This is a Liberty quilting fabric. I found this, which I rather liked. I don't know where I got it from, but it will look beautiful in my quilt. And another fabric. Oh, this is a Liberty one as well. Look, it's got peacocks in. So I thought I need to put that into this quilt, because that will remind me of Castle Howard with all the beautiful... I'm looking at the side here to see what, if you can see it. So I've got that peacock fabric, but I've also found this peacock fabric. So they're going in the pile for the quilt, which is just here. I then found some fabrics that I'd bought in Hawaii, which I have no idea if I've shown you, and I really do need ideas for these. This is a fabric that was designed by the quilting store. It's just beautiful. I've got half a yard of that because I bought it in the States, so it's a yard, half a yard. So it's 2 fat quarters joined together. And whatever I do with that, I might start to slip it into bits of work so that I've got the memory coming through and through. And I have a larger piece of fabric which I got in the quilt store near Kona that L'Oreal and I walked to, and it is a beautiful blender. There is another fabric, and I bought quite a lot of it when I was making masks, and it's by Lewis and Irene, and it's called Cloudberries, and I don't think they do it anymore. And I found loads of it just by having a jolly good clear out. Oh my gosh, I would heartily recommend that everybody has a clear out. Look, I found a long zip. I mean, how often do we look for zips and we can't find them? A little pair of scissors. 2 cards from Beyond the Pink Door. This is box 31, and that was box 22. And some beautiful fabric that the lovely Jane Tyler gave me, which needs to be incorporated into the block of the month. And Jane gave me this as well. Now, I'm wondering if this makes up into something. I think this is a panel for the wall. This is a panel for the wall. I'm pretty certain. Is it? Is it a big poster for the wall? Jane, I need to speak to you. I really do, but it's stunning. And it would look lovely on the wall here in the kitchen, and I could probably get it. Because my wall goes up quite high, can you see into the ceiling there? I can probably get it hung up quite high there. So, the moral of the story, everybody, is do have a turf out of your sewing space and see what you might find. I might have to call this the Box of Delights, but my lovely friend Pam, whom you've seen on one of my unboxings and has popped up, has been making a bag, and I'm really sorry, Pam, I can't remember which bag it was you were making, but she sent me a message and she went, I'm lining it with this. And I said, oh, I'm so jealous. She's posted me the scraps. But when you have got the scraps like this, you can get loads of little pieces out. Look. And it's a grey and teal blues all blend beautifully together. So as I'm talking about the quilt that I'm making, I thought I'd just better get out the bits that I have done to show you, because I thought, oh, I can't just mention it and then not show you. So I am doing the Debbie Shaw Block of the Month quilt, and that is through the Half Yard Sewing Club. It's costing me £6 a month to do the Half Yard Sewing Club, but you get a link to the back catalogue. So this is part of block for the block for month 2, and this was month 1. And this is where the lovely bumbleberries from my friends. But as you can see, if I blended the bumbleberries in, it will match with the colours that I'm using. And I'm going for the blues and turquoises and taupes that will match in. And although I wanted to use sewing themed fabrics, I'm starting to use anything I've got in the house because I'm desperate not to buy anything unnecessarily. I shall come to that in a minute. That seems to suggest that I might have had to buy something. And then I'm doing this quilt where you do a block every week, and I think if I'm not careful I could get behind with that. So each week you do a little block, and I am up to and including week 8. That was the first one, and then I've got a series of little blocks, all that are in the book. Some that are more pronounced than others, some that I might need to work on the colours on, but as I have said, and I've had some beautiful responses where people have said, I'm doing what you're doing, Judi, I'm using it as a textbook, I'm using it as an exercise book to show my progress. So this was week 2, and I absolutely love that, which led to me redoing, this was week 3, but week 2 I led me to redoing this one. And I absolutely love all of that I'm doing. Some of them are a bit pasty because the colours aren't brilliant, but it doesn't matter. It's what So I did buy some fabric this week to go with the quilt because I want to introduce some more deeper colours, and I thought, right, I will buy a couple of yards of blenders to feed into the quilt to add in some extra colour. And my fabric store in York, well, one of my fabric stores in York that I like going to, Bugweeds, has just moved units. And they used to be in one area of this shopping estate, this industrial estate, and they've moved to another one. Conveniently, they've moved next to Starbucks. And earlier this week, Hannah and I did go into York, and we took George to Bugweeds. Just have a little look at this. Are we inducting George into the Future Fabric Shopping Hall of Fame? So, Bugweeds is now next to Starbucks. Very convenient. Oh, look. First thing to notice about Bugweeds now, folks, is it has a late night shopping. Excellent. So, I'm just coming to Bugweeds and I'm having to familiarise myself because it's all changed. So, they've now got the sewing machines and the wool and the fabric all together in one shop. Liberty. These are patchwork fabrics by Liberty, which are absolutely beautiful. I've got some at home. In fact, I have got this one at home, and I've got that one at home. Lovely, lovely wool section if you're into your knitting. I like knitting, but my fingers don't. Tula pink. I might just have to turn the camera off and have a little peruse. Organic sewing, I've seen this before. It's really good. Hungry Caterpillar. I bought this from Rebecca before. I love the thread choice that you have here, because you've got metal and then you've got Aurifil, which is wonderful. Now, Bugweeds is a business that is still evolving. I think businesses continue to evolve. I don't think they've got a website out yet. There is a website address. I'm going to put that down below. But there's also a very good Facebook group, and everything seems to go on Facebook at the moment. But I did mention to, I think it was Helen, I had a chat with her, and she said that the website is on the way. I'd wanted to buy bumbleberries as a blender, but I also wanted to support my local fabric shop. So I went for a different one. I went for Riley Blake, and I picked up 4 fabrics to blend in with what I've got. Now I had to carry the colours in my head So I know I've got that will blend them together. I know I needed a deeper colour to blend together. So you can see me peering out through the side. This one here, because I know we've got the minty colour, but then I went for a deeper colour as well. And it is the blenders that I'm finding I need to bring the patterned fabric together. So I am at the point of putting in the collar in my Frida Blouse by Atelier Jupe, and this is the blouse that I'm making in the Beyond the Pink Door box 35 fabric, and I absolutely adore it. This is the second garment I've got out of this fabric. I cannot show you the first one yet, but hopefully by the end of the month I will be able to. Yes, it was a pattern test. So I am absolutely loving the way it's gone together. I've done French seams, I have done the yoke and the burrito, and everything works beautifully. Now the collar. Collars are shaped. You've got your neck that's curved this way and your collars are shaped. So when you put your collar in, you need to hold the fabric like so. So let me tip the camera down and let me show you again how I'm doing this collar. I've got 90% of the collar on already. I don't have a fancy rig above me for demonstrations. Unfortunately, demonstrations need to be with me coming up close and personal to the camera and having a go. So I have my pincushion is just here. Let me just move my coffee out of the way. So here you are. Here is the collar. Now you can see here, it looks like I've got a bulge. Bulge in the collar and a bulge here. The minute I go like this and fold it round like so, it falls into place. And I'm now going to pin it into place with my pins perpendicular to the seam. And it literally just falls into place. Now, when I was taught to sew, I was taught that you tack collars, you tack sleeves, you tack zips. And I know it might sound boring. I didn't tack the collar and I wasn't happy because it moved. There is no guarantee that by using a pin or a clip, your work will not slide. You need to take those pins out. You need to take those clips out. And you need to be careful when you are sewing. So my tip is to tack every time. So I am redoing this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack it in place, and I'm just going to show you how I would tack it in place. Now when you are tacking, this little bit here at the beginning has to line up. The edge of the collar where the pin end is, they have to line up perfectly. So trust me, I'm just going to tack. I really hope this works, folks. So I have got so many pins in here. I'm actually going to take one out and I'm going to try and get this in the very end. Now I'm going to do a little hand stitch through the fabric, and I can hear you saying, I don't have time to do this. I'm a slow sewer. I'm not a fast sewer. I am a slow sewer. I am not a fast sewer. I like to take my time and get it right. And believe me, when I learnt, it was important that everything was done as neatly as possible. Now, the stitches for your tacking, they aren't big, they have to be small. You are basically securing your work. The other reason for tacking on a collar is that it allows you to ensure that the facing is also secured in place, and that doesn't pull out of alignment either. So I am just going to do a few stitches down, and let's have a look and see if this works. And the other thing is that you have to make certain that your collar is the right size all the way around, and if things slip, you can actually end up with your collar being different depths all the way around, and that's not something that anybody would want on their garment. A garment that you've spent hours, it slipped already here because pins come out. So this is where this is because I'm trying to film and do it at the same time, but I want you to see how important it is that slipped, that would have made that part of the collar slide out of alignment, and you can't let that happen. So let's just put the pin in here and let's just have a look here at the first bit of the collar. I hope this is going to work. But you can see here that the collar will now tuck underneath, and I will have a perfect line when I come to sew it down. I can hear everybody saying, oh my gosh, I don't have time to tack. It's going to take forever. It's entirely up to you. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. You can get fabric glue and you can put that down and use that to hold it in place. But I am a tacker. I always have been. I always tack zips in. Set-in sleeves, I tack in. So this week I had said that I was going to sew my way through half term. I haven't sewn my way through half term at all, have I? Because I didn't come on every day. Why didn't I come on every day? It's a couple of reasons. The first one is I am ridiculously congested. It's life, I've got a cold, and it was getting me down and making me feel depressed. Hannah was around, so I spent the time with my family so that I could enjoy some quality time with my grandchildren. So I spent time with Oliver and I've spent time with George, and it's been absolutely wonderful. And I walked Poppy and Maggie, put some walkie pictures in, and I've been out for a run with Poppy and Maggie, and I will be going out for another run today. And this weekend I am getting my house ready for my visitor in March. I have my lovely friend Lorianne coming to visit, so I need to do some housework, and I want to cut out and make my Envie dress in my Beyond the Pink Door fabric. You reach over and grab it. The Envie dress is by Coralie Biasson Patterns, and I've been talking about this dress, and this is the fabric, which is box 36 from Beyond the Pink Door. I have also done a secret sewing project, and I have another couple of secret sewing projects in the pipeline, and obviously I am sewing but I can't share them with you. I thought I'd better show you the embroidery, because the embroidery is up to date, and one of the things I wanted to show you was, can you see the swan just there? Just have a look at this. Somewhere in here there is a swan's nest, right in the middle. Oh, there's a swan over there, Alison, look. Oh, it's, no, it's on. Can you see it? There it is, the swan's nest. I knew it was here. It's making the nest for this year. I don't know if I can get it in anymore. So in there, right in there, is the swan's nest. And the swan is building the nest. So there's the house over there in the distance. Taking it down to the lake. I did say we were having some proper Castle Howard footage. We've come into the cafe. This is doggy sausage and biscuits. But there's only one doggy obviously having it, because the other one's under the table, wondering what's going on. That is spoiled big time, isn't it? Would you like one? Would you like one? I was fortunate enough to go to Castle Howard this week with a friend, and we saw the most beautiful swan's nest. So precious. Which other motifs have I done? I have got a motif there for a car spanner, because the car's been in. I've done my Zoso logo. The one I'm covering up I can't show you, and I am just a couple behind. I seem to be running a few days behind with it, and then I'll sit down one evening and I'll just sew quite a few. But I have got them all written down in my notebook as to what I am going to do for each day, so I know what I am doing, and sometimes I'll jot down a few ideas, and then when I come to do the sewing I'll actually say which one it is that I've done. I need to work on working out how best to video doing tutorials, but unfortunately at the moment all I can do is to do what I'm doing, and I just want to thank you all for staying with me and for watching, because it means so very much to me, and I do hope that that came out well with the Frida blouse. I'm going to stop here And I'm going to say that tomorrow I'm going to finish the Frida and I want to make the Envie and I want to do some patchwork. It is a lot, and I will be back with you before the end of February with 2 makes and some more blocks, because I have the time to do that next week, and that is my plan. So on that note, I do hope you are enjoying the most fantastic weekend. It's beautifully sunny in Yorkshire. I've got washing on the line, and I've got more washing to put out. What is it? We get to a certain point in our lives and the washing has to go on the line. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. It's lovely to have you here with me. Do leave me a like and a comment. Subscribe. Try and get me to that magical number before I get to my 60th anniversary of sewing. And if you've got any ideas of how I can celebrate 60 years of sewing, do drop it in the comment box below. It'd be lovely to hear. I've got no idea how to celebrate it. So where do I go? What do I do? Please help me out. And on that note, I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.